Good evening, fuckers. We are back with the next Train Simulator Classic request video, and this one is a bit of a follow-up to a video I did fairly recently in the Armstrong Powerhouse Class 87. For this one, we're going to see how the sister train, the Class 86, performs. Again, the Armstrong Powerhouse version. So for this test, we are going to be on the West Coast Main Line again, but we're on a much shorter route than the 87 had. This one is West Coast Main Line, Trent Valley, and we're going to do a full run of it. So we will start at Rugby down in the south and make our way up to Stafford. And we will be stopping at all stations along the way. There isn't a huge amount of them, so that shouldn't be an issue. The actual train itself is, the locomotive, the Class 86. I think it's an 86/2, so it's not the fastest we could have. And the consist will be 8 Mark II coaches. As far as the specifics, I've just stuck with the usual. It's summer, it's clear, and it's 1 PM. So that is the setup. Let's get this up and running. And here we are. So this is Stafford, and take a look. Yep, here is our 86. It is an 86/2, which is a bit of a shame, but there you go. And our 8 Mark II coaches. All looking pretty good. Right, let's get the train set up, shall we? So we start by getting the old master key done. Then we want the AWS system set up. That's set to go for there. We just need the lights. Yeah, we want instrument lights on, headlights on. I actually want tail lights off, but I can't remember where the tail lights are. Yeah, there's nothing on the side. Right, where's the tail light? I'll tell you what, I think that's done the tail lights. Yeah, now, problem is, as you can see, I have got the headlights on, but yeah, they don't actually show. I've tried umpteen different things to try and get them to actually appear, and they never do. Oh well. Right, let's let the passengers on. You can hear that the fan is slightly louder than the fan of the 87, but it's certainly nowhere near as bad as the the racket that comes from the DTG 86. There we go. Right, we are all set. Let's release the brakes. Get ourselves into hold position. We're just waiting for the brakes to come off. There we go. Right, let's get underway. Now the 86 is not as smooth when it comes to pulling away from a standstill. But I did actually get the number of notches of the 86 and the 87 for that matter completely wrong. I did say in the video when I was in the 87 that the 87 had either 35 or 37 notches. In fact, it has 39, and I was even more way out when it came to the 86. Class 86 I said has 31 notches. No, it has 38. So it only has one notch less than the Class 87. But I do still have the same issue with the 86 that I have with the 87, which is that I am very slow at getting it up and running from standstill. Now we have this 40 mph section as we're approaching points which we will be going over, so I don't really want to be picking up too much speed just yet, but I'll certainly be keen to get a decent amount of speed once we've come off the points and we are back in the 75 mph zone. So yeah, we're in the 40 now. But once the entire train has come off of the points and is back on the main line, we should then be able to start speeding up again. We're still on the 40 section at the moment. Now we're in a 125. So again, just like with the 87, we need to keep an eye on which notch we're in and an eye on the ammeters. So Stratford is just over 50 miles. Stafford. Stratford. So yeah, it's certainly a much shorter route than we had in the 87, and we have just entered a neutral section. So we've now got to let the notches come down, but it does also mean we can start running up rather than just notching up, so let's do that. Again, keep an eye on the ammeter, you don't want it to go mad. So we are well into the yellow, we'll take it down. Yeah, that's okay. Now, as far as the notches, yeah, we've... So yeah, about 75% of the way. But with the amount of stops I've got, well... I don't think actually we've got a huge number of them. There aren't a vast number of stops on the Trent Valley section, but we are going to be stopping at every stop, so I do certainly need to take that into account. But one thing is for sure, if you if you sort of got used to the Class 87 and you finding the 87 not easy to drive, but you've got the grips with it, you know what you're doing, then you'll find the Class 86 a doddle. It's not as demanding as the 87. So yeah, you should find the 86 is really not that difficult. If you can drive the 87, then you can drive the 86 no problem. I'll also go so far as to say you can also drive the 85 no problem. But bearing in mind the 85 is a freeware loco, so there is a possibility that you'll never end up driving the 85 in this game. Though I do recommend that you do. 85 is a great loco. Anyway, we are now in the top notch, so we're in notch 38. Be good to see if we can find out how fast this thing can go at maxed out. Max speed you can see here is 100. I'll say if this was an 86/1, then the max speed would be 110. So yeah, I'm quite keen to see how far above the operational speed it can go as we pass a 66 there. No shortage of Class 66 locos on this route. It's quite a freight heavy route, the old Trent Valley. Not to say that the 66 is the only freight loco you would ever see on here. You're spoilt for choice as we pass a 350. But yeah, the 70, the 92, the 60, all on here. As far as the game is concerned, it does, I think, pretty much limit it to 66 as far as the scenarios. So we're up to 105. It's driving really well, this. Acceleration rate has certainly slowed. We're not accelerating anything like as fast as we were in the 87. We're certainly not going to get to the 123 mph that we could do in the 87. If I can get to 110 in this, then yeah, I'll be well pleased with that, and we are not far off it. Does look like 109 is this thing topped out. Still, it is 9 mph over the max rated speed of this thing, so you certainly can't complain. Oh, there we go, 110. So we are at yeah, 10% faster than this thing is rated as. What we've got going here, that could be a 59 that passed us there. we're still accelerating. We're up to 111. Really eating through these miles here. Now at 112. One, 113. When it comes to the DTG version of the 86 and 87, I must admit I do prefer the 86 over the 87. There's not a lot in it, but yeah, I prefer the DTG 86. Now with the Armstrong Powerhouse ones, I do really like the oh shit, I didn't mean to switch off, but nevertheless we do need to really start to slow down here. We've got to come down to 40. But yeah, with regards to the Armstrong Powerhouse ones, I do really like the 87, and this is the first sort of like real distance that I've taken the 86, so this is very much the first impressions. God dear, we are going to be massively speeding. Just gone through a neutral section. If this 40 mph is for the points here, we might end up derailing. Okay, we somehow managed it. We do also, of course, need to stop here at Nuneaton. I think we might end up actually stopping pretty well, but yeah, we were speeding something fierce as we were approaching the station. Well, we are going extremely slowly, but yeah, I wanted to be sure that we get the entire train on the platform. So we have another class 66 right there. So here we are at Nuneaton, having made a very dodgy approach to this station. So we have a class 350 right next to us there, and yeah, the class 66 over here. It's all DRS 66s on this particular route for some reason. I don't really know why. And over there, I'm sure that's a 59. See if we can... in fact, we can hear from the engine sound. That's definitely a 59 engine sound. Anyway, right, doors are shut and the yeah, the guard signal went, so let's get back underway. So we are in a 75 zone. 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 probably be a good idea to, yeah, not go, well, we certainly don't want to go above it because, yeah, that would mean we were speeding, but yeah, I probably wouldn't want to go too high over that anyway, because otherwise we haven't got a prayer of being able to brake in time for whatever stations are coming up next. I can't remember what comes after Nuneaton. I do know the stops include Rugeley. This is not in order, I'm not sure what the order is, but yeah, I mean obviously Stafford, Rugeley, Lichfield. I'm sure there are others. So I know there's not a huge number of stops on this route, but I'm sure it's more than just those. Notches up are we now? Not quite halfway. Lights are still not on. I think it's safe to say the lights will not be coming on. I don't know why they don't come on, but especially as I have, you know, yeah, I have switched them on. So I have a feeling that the rest of this line will be 75. It'll certainly go up once we reach Stafford, but of course that is the end of the run for us. I think after Stafford this would then go on to Crewe. That's where the two sort of branches, so to speak, of the West Coast Main Line rejoin. May need to start notching down fairly soon because we're only 9 mph off the max line speed. So we're at 70, let's start notching down and try and slow down our acceleration a little bit, especially as we've now got 60 zone coming up. Oh, and in fact we have a stop coming up. Atherstone. So let's start running down. Take it down to like mid-40s. Another 66. Well, at least there are some cargo containers on those cargo flats. I certainly would not want to be driving that freight train though. So I think I've gone from one extreme to the other. We're coming in very, very slowly to this stop. Let's get us down. Here is Atherstone Station. Can't say I'm familiar with this one. Oh, this looks like a very short station indeed. I have overshot it, but not by much. There's no way we were going to get the entire train on this platform. So yeah, front carriage is fine. Rear carriages are certainly not. This one, no chance. I mean, this one you could get out through this door here, no problem. But that's about as good as we could really hope for. So see, yeah. So this is Atherstone Station. Looks like quite a nice area. Anyway, release the brakes. Ourselves back underway. Most of the time when I have done this particular route, I've been driving class 350 emus, and it's fair to say that I've really not got the grips with the 350 on this route, because I always end up with a major fault. The way I drive, which is basically, yeah, I put them through sheer hell, and the 350 really does not like the way that I drive it, and yeah, I always end up with a major fault of some kind. Which does rather suggest that, yeah, I'm clearly driving it wrong, but I'm a bit stuck in my ways there. So, yeah, I'm just going to continue putting the 350s through hell on this route. Not the greatest way of, you know, actually doing well in the game. So I'm guessing Rugeley is the next stop. We are now in another 75 zone. So it's probably best I don't notch up too much, because again I'm going to end up I'm just going to end up speeding. I have no idea how many notches to notch down in order to try and maintain our speed rather than gain any. And on this particular route, I really don't get the chance to sort of find out, as far as how many notches to notch down by. West Coast Main Line South would be the better route to try and find out something like that. So for now I'm quite happy to continue accelerating at this rate. Not particularly fast acceleration. I don't think it would do me too many favours if this was a career scenario. I think we'd be ending up quite late, but anyway, the next station is coming along, Polesworth, another one I'm not familiar with. We'll start running down when we are about a mile away. We won't need to apply brakes at that point, but there we go. Couldn't tell if that was a 66 or a 59. Not going to be stopping anywhere near fast enough for this one. Right, we're not stopping at Polesworth because we're going through way too quickly. Okay, let's carry on. So yeah, we've missed Polesworth Station. It is quite a small one. I am clearly really underestimating the amount of braking time I need. I'll say this is the first time I've really driven this thing any sort of distance, so while the brakes are not dreadful, they certainly do not compare to the brakes on the 87. Well, we have a hefty speed, or max speed increase coming up to 110. I was not expecting that. That would be great, but we are bound to have quite a few stops, and here we have Tamworth. Can't believe I forgot bloody Tamworth. Now, I made a real balls up of the braking last time. Tamworth is a fairly major station. I don't want to be ballsing this one up. I mean, I'm braking ridiculously early, but I want to at least get us down to a manageable speed. So, as always, get us down to mid to low 40s. Okay, let's get ourselves down to mid-30s. I'm fairly sure Tamworth appears as a stop on the Chiltern line. Fairly sure it is. We have a neutral section. That's a dreadful place to put it, right by the station. Another 65 going by. Okay, so here we are at Tamworth Station. Very slow approach to it, but at least, yeah, we didn't overshoot this one. And we've got all cars on the station, absolutely fine. Yeah, no problem at all. Right. Brakes off. So we are starting in a 110 mph zone. Quarter of a mile we're in a 125 mph zone. So let's try and accelerate a little bit better than we have been. Well, I tried accelerating better than we have been, but yeah, clearly failing miserably. So we're about to enter the 125 zone. There we go. And we're not even doing 22. We're pretty close to top notch. Thing is, we've had the ammeter in the yellow for the vast majority of this since we left Tamworth Station. There we go, right, so we are at top notch now. So this is where a neutral zone or neutral section will almost certainly crop up. 50 is going by there. Now you wouldn't think that we are pretty much next to Birmingham here. A lot of open countryside. So Litchfield coming up. Now we are doing over 100 here, so I think we're going to have to brake quite hard. So the weird thing is, we're on the Trent Valley, and yet the platform or the station here is just Litchfield. Whereas if we were on the Birmingham Cross City run, the station there is called Litchfield Trent Valley. So it's called Trent Valley when we're not on the Trent Valley line. Yeah. I don't think we're gonna stop in time here. Really am not doing too great with the brakes on this thing. Okay, well, let's try and get, because we are, I mean, those rear few carriages there are certainly on the platform, but we want it on the green part here. So there's me saying, oh, I don't think we're stopping in time, and in fact, yeah, we managed it easily. There we go, right. So here we are at Litchfield, and that bridge over there, that is Litchfield Trent Valley Station, even though it's actually on the yeah, the Cross City, Birmingham Cross City line. Okay, all set. Let's get those brakes off. There we go. So we still have Rugeley Station to go through. I think Rugeley and Stafford are the only two left. Still pulling out of the station, just left it now as we were doing a mere 19 mph, pulling out into a 125 mph section, so I mean, we can still certainly shift. Well, I must admit, when I first started driving the tap changer locos in this game, I really did not like them at all, but they have certainly grown on me. I do quite like them now. The tap changer does take some getting used to, there's no denying it. I know Jim from Jim Plays is not a fan of them, but again, I think that is purely because he's just not used to them. I'm pretty sure he will get to like them once he gets to grips with it. I mean, it does take a while to get used to. There's no denying that. But eventually, you know, you'll start playing it and then it will just click. Yeah, it's like, okay, now I know what I'm doing. And once you get that, you'll have no problem with them at all. Pretty close to top notch, but again, having to keep the ammeter in the yellow for a lot longer than I would like. There we go. Right, we're at top notch. Stafford is 15 miles away. Felt certain there was going to be a neutral section there. It's 100 mph. And here's the neutral section. Takes a lot longer for the notches to come down in this compared to the 87. As it is, we have Rugeley Station coming up, so Jesus, this does not look good. This is a very small station here. I don't think we're going to get the entire train on this platform. No chance of getting the whole thing on here. So let the loco go beyond the platform a bit. Yeah. Okay, it's not great, but that'll do. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, it's only the first 5 coaches. Yeah, look at this. Nowhere near it. To be fair, it's only the last 2 coaches that are not on there, so we've got 6 of them actually on the platform. This one's fine. You can get out of this door, no problem. 350, it's on the other side there. Right, so Stafford, 9.3 miles. I am pretty sure there are no other stations between here and there. Someone's just left a Class 66 laying around there. So 90 mph zone coming up in a mile and a half. So we'll just accelerate to 90. Well, alright, we can then go up to 100 once we've entered that particular zone. Still be enough distance to make it worthwhile. top notch. Hoping we won't speed as we go through this 90 section. What freight train have we got held up here? It's almost certainly going to be a 66. It is. It's another DRS 66. So we're entering the 100 zone and we're fine. So yeah, no speeding, nothing to worry about. We are approaching Shugborough Tunnel. Shugborough sounds like a system in Elite Dangerous. So we have a speed reduction down to 90 coming up in a mile and a half. Further reduction out to 85, so we continue catching up with this 66 rather, 86 is what we're in. Stafford is coming up. We have 25 mph speed limit as we approach it. I wonder if that means we're going over points. Well, that's a solid double yellow. It would suggest no, we're not going over points. but that indicates we are going over them. Well, let's find out. We'll be going over these. No, going straight on. Now, maybe it's this one we're going turning off on. Yep. And there we are. So that was Rugby to Stafford, the West Coast Main Line Trent Valley in the Class 86 or Class 86 stroke 2. It's a great drive. I do really like the Trent Valley. Really should do that more often. An advert there for a route that I certainly have done fairly recently. But yeah, this is a great route, and the 86 not as easy to drive as the 87. It's a polar opposite to the Dovetail Games versions, where the 86 is easier to drive than the 87. With the Armstrong Powerhouse ones, it's the other way round. The 87 is easier to drive than the 86, and it's purely down to the braking. The braking is easier in the 87 than the 86. Just one speeding error, so by my standards that was really well done. But there we go, great run. And a great loco. I'm really liking the Armstrong Powerhouse tap changer locos. Shame they didn't do the 85, but oh well, you can't have everything, eh? So there we are. That is that video done, and we will see you at the next one.